Okay, so we're on page 544 now. This is the second part of chapter 16, part 16a, and we're on the bottom of page 544. Open the attribute table of the census, of the Wisconsin census tracts layer. So let's go back up here and right click again and look at the attribute table. And now we're going to scroll to the right again. And once we get far enough over to the right here, we should be running into fields from the the food desert table. So now let's go to the top of page. So this should look pretty much like what we see at the top of page 545. And now, let me see. So here's that first row, and its square miles is 4.89, and object ID is 1. 233001, so on, and then we get a bunch of nulls, and all they show you in the book is nulls, but if you scroll down, there are some places that are not null. Now, what happened is that there weren't nearly as many rows in the spreadsheet file as there were in the census tracts file, so what you get is the value null if there's no match. And so what that means is that these places where there's a null are not considered food deserts. So only the ones that have something in this column and from here on over are actually food deserts. Now what we want to do on the top of page 545 is turn off the field aliases by clicking the table options button, which is this button up here. And we want to turn off show field aliases, and if we turn that off, then what we get is we get the complete name of the field with the shapefile or the Excel file name on the front and the field name on the back after the period. So we can see because of that everything from here on over is a field that actually came from our data table over here in Excel. And it says resize the data.tract FIPS to see its full name, and that should match what we see on the bottom of page 545. And then we want to perform a select by attributes query using this SQL statement. So select by attributes is this button right here. So I want everything from here where, and the field is data dot tract FIPS, and then we say is not, and then we're going to type in the word null. And it doesn't matter if you use upper or lowercase. This is SQL structured query language, and it doesn't care about the case. So that's what we want. We want to close we want to apply it, I guess, first. There was a problem, an invalid SQL statement was used. Let me see. Data tract FIPS is not null. Let me try that again. And I don't think I put a space in there. I think that's what the problem was. So is not null. Now let's try to apply it. And if we apply it, we should see all the nulls disappear over here, and we should have nothing but, I'm sorry, they don't disappear, but the ones that are selected turn blue. So now let's turn to page 24 and close the Select by Attributes dialog box. That's this one up here. And show only the selected records in the attribute table, and there's a button down here that will let us show all records or just the selected records. So we're going to choose selected records, and now we're just going to see the blue ones, and those are the ones that actually have, we lost our column position, so we're going to have to scroll to the right here again. But this is where I just went a little too far. This is where the data tract, this is where the data table begins, and this is the data tract FIPS number. And it says move the table out of the way so you can see the map display, the selected records are also selected on the map. And we're going to close the table, and it doesn't matter. As long as we got a selection that is live there, it will continue to select those tracks over here in the map. In the table of contents, right-click the Wisconsin census tracts and click Data, Export Data. So this is what we did last week. So we're going to do what do we want? We want just the selected features, which would be the ones that are turned blue. And so it says keep the first two default options, which would be selected features and this layer's data source. And maintain the first two options. For the output location, output feature class here, we want to click on this, and we want to go to the My Data folder for Chapter 16. So you have to find that wherever it is on your particular computer system. And I want to go to computer, my C drive, and I want to go to SRepress, and I want to go to getting to know ArcGIS. I want to go to Chapter 16, and then I want to go to the My Data folder, and I want to click on OK. And for the name, instead of calling it export output, which is kind of a generic default value there, we want to call it food desert. And then click on save. And an error occurred. And I think an error occurred because I skipped a step. So I'm going to go back here to, let's cancel that. Go back here and click on the browse button again. And I'm going to go look at, actually I think there might be a faster way. Can I get, where's my home folder? Yeah. We'll just go to computer, C drive, SRepress, and getting to know, whoops, yeah, SRepress, getting to know ArcGIS, Chapter 16, and we want to go to the My Data folder and click on OK. So, saving data. Let's try calling that food desert. And I think we may have the same problem we had last time, an error occurred. Okay, so I'm going to try to put it on the desktop, see what happens if I do that. And we're going to call it, no, where I want to go is, just a minute. I want to go to my computer, C drive, SRepress, getting to know Chapter 16. And we want to go to My Data. And in My Data is Wisconsin GDB. And let's won't let us click on OK. Can we double click on that? No, we can't. So let's go to My Data and click on OK. And this is not working. It still doesn't like Wisconsin GDB. Back here, click on OK. And food desert. Can I get Wisconsin GDB up here? There it is. Now can I open that? And now can I save it? And I think I might have actually done it there. And when your export data dialog box matches the graphic at the right, click OK. When the operation is complete, click yes to add the new layer to the map. So we're going to add a new layer to the map. And there it is, and it's called Food Desert. On the bar, click Selection, Clear Selected Features. Okay, and now those are deselected, but they're a different color because we just made a new layer out of them over here. And change the name of the new layer to Wisconsin Food Deserts. So let's go here and just click twice and put Wisconsin ahead of Food Desert. And if you want to save your work, rename your map document and save it to your My Data folder for Chapter 16. If you're continuing next exercise, leave ArcMap open, and that's the end of Project A, so we will stop there.